Hi there, it's Mary Lou Buell, Technology Integration Specialist, and I'm going to take a few minutes and walk you through the Digital Equity Pathways to High Achievement Standards Overview document. This document takes us through the entire scope and sequence, pre-K to 12, and at the top, you'll notice that there's a link to our digital equity vision, which is a great place to start because it is the digital equity vision that really guided the creation of this document. You can certainly open a preview when you are looking at this document yourself, but for the purposes of this video, let's go ahead and look at a new tab. Just to remind everyone, the digital equity vision, as well as the scope and sequence, was created collaboratively by the digital equity team that met in 2022 and 2023. Digital equity removes barriers while creating experiences tailored to all students' needs, strengths, interests, and identities. Classroom use of technology fosters creative and meaningful expression while preparing students for future success as informed citizens in a tech-driven society. The DEP team further identified digital equity according to these 5 pillars. If all of us strive for accessibility, adaptability, intentionality, interconnectivity, and wellness, true digital equity will be achieved. Looking at the standards overview document, you can see that the scope and sequence is a series of ICANN statements that are centered around a tech skill, a depth focus, and a digital literacy and computer science standard. The DLCS is a curriculum framework document from DESE, and it includes some computer skills that are just sort of standalone computer skills that, quite frankly, could be taught in a computer class. But most of the DLCS skills are actually intended to be integrated into the curriculum because the way that students use technology in a science class will be very different from how they use technology in an ELA class. So with this first set of ICANN statements, you'll see that the tech skill is operation. The depth focus is accessibility, adaptability, and intentionality. And the DLCS standard is computing and society. So all of these ICANN statements here relate to the operational tech skills. And then you'll notice up here at the top, you can see where the tech skill might not apply to a certain grade level, or it might be expected to be just introduced or reinforced. And then you'll also see the grade level where that skill is meant to be mastered. So for example, turning on and off the device, these are things that are introduced in pre-K, reinforced in kindergarten. And then because we switch from iPads to Chromebooks, it's then actually introduced again in first grade and reinforced again. And we hope that by third grade, that skill is mastered. And it sort of continues to be mastered. If you are a teacher in fourth grade, fifth grade, and above, you can pretty much know that your students are able to turn on and off the device. And that's not really something that you have to teach or, quite frankly, even reinforce when they get into the upper grade levels. However, if we look at something like connecting a device to other displays, we're not even going to start to talk about that. There is no expectation that we'll be starting to talk about that at all until the upper elementary grades. And even in middle school, this is just something that might be reinforced as a concept, but not really expected to be mastered until high school. This does not mean that if you are super ambitious that you can't introduce something earlier than the chart says. You are certainly free to do as much with technology as you feel comfortable. The sky's really the limit. But what the ask from the district is that you are mindful to where there is the expectation of introducing, reinforcing, or having your students master these skills at a particular grade level, and that you really do your best to do that. To help you out, there are some sample lessons or activities, and they're over here. Some of them are specifically for the younger kids, like the how to use your Chromebook lesson. Many of these come from teachers in Weymouth Public Schools. Some of them come from teachers in other districts. And you can see that, some of them are more for the younger students, while others are more for, the older students to go through. These are just ideas. You're certainly free to create your own materials or even see how they can be integrated, like with the Foundations fluency practice, how you can sort of integrate, say, teaching keyboard skills along with your literacy lesson. And then you'll see that the same organization for the standards and the ICANN statements continues for the other tech skills, the other depth focuses, and the other areas of the DLCS standards. So we've got navigation, we've got data collection, we have video and audio skills, we have research skills, content creation and presentation skills, and then ultimately digital wellness skills as well. So take a few minutes right now and go through the scope and sequence document and make sure that you're really comfortable with how the document is organized, where you will be expected to introduce, reinforce, or get students to master the different ICANN statements, and also make sure that you're looking at the digital equity vision and what those elements are. When you're ready, there's a little quiz that you can take to see how you're doing. And in the next modules, we will be looking individually at each of the tech skills and how you can get more comfortable knowing what the tech skill is and begin to think about how you will use it in your classroom.